And now shifting focus to the war in Europe, Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned NATO of a direct war if they allow Ukraine to strike inside Russia with Western-made weapons. Putin's comments came after the United States said it was considering lifting restrictions on Kyiv's use of long-range Western missiles to target Russian territories.
If this decision is made, it will mean nothing less than the direct participation of NATO countries, the United States, and European countries in the war in Ukraine. This is their direct participation, and this, of course, significantly changes the very essence, the very nature of the conflict. This will mean that NATO countries, the United States, and European countries are fighting against Russia. And if this is so, then, bearing in mind the change in the very essence of this conflict, we will make appropriate decisions based on the threats that will be created for us.
During a recent visit to Kyiv, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said there could be a broader strategic shift among NATO partners. Meanwhile, President Joe Biden is meeting British Prime Minister Keir Starmer at the White House to discuss Ukraine's use of long-range weapons. Other NATO countries, including the UK and Poland, have also appeared to be increasingly open to the possibility of allowing Ukrainian forces to use their weapons deep inside Russia, a move that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has been pressing since the war began.
As the West, we should continue to deliver advanced air defense systems and also, in our opinion, lift restrictions on the use of long-range weapons. We are convinced the economic sanctions are effective, and at the same time we appeal for taking more decisive actions on confiscating frozen Russian assets.
Meanwhile, Putin has raised doubts that Ukrainian forces aren't capable of using cutting-edge Western missile systems without NATO's assistance.
The Ukrainian army is not capable of striking with modern long-range precision systems of Western manufacture. It cannot do this. This is only possible using intelligence data from satellites, which Ukraine does not have. This data is only from satellites of the European Union or the United States, in general, from NATO satellites. Flight assignments for these missile systems can, in fact, only be entered by military personnel of NATO countries. Ukrainian military personnel cannot do this. Therefore, we are not talking about allowing the Ukrainian regime to strike Russia with these weapons or not. We are talking about making a decision about whether NATO countries are directly involved in the military conflict or not.
Tensions are in fact running high after the Pentagon confirmed that Moscow received short-range ballistic missiles from Tehran to use against Kyiv. NATO countries, including the United States, Britain, Germany, and France, have slapped Iran with sanctions over its weapons delivery to Russia. However, Ukraine has said these sanctions don't go far enough and has threatened to sever diplomatic ties with Tehran.